morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever and wherever you welcome back to the Beta Plan, playing once again Planescape Torment. And as you may notice, we are in a different location than where we left off last time, because this was one of the longest mazes ever, and I have spent more than another episode just fighting rooms, dying over, and learning a little bit more of the strategies of my mage book. I've been casting spells more frequently. Don't know why I didn't have that one studied, but yes, I'm casting them more and more frequently. And apparently I have completely forgotten to, well, level up my folks. Because when Ignis got a new level, he got a lot of new spells, and I never actually made use of that. That is really bad, but as you can see, we leveled up with quite a few people, which, well, is useful for us. I also noticed now why lightning killed me, because lightning is an area of effect spell, it's not actually a targeted spell. Whoops. But yes, there are two things of course that we were going for. Actually, you knew of one. One is the Dark Evil Wizard, and he's always in a room that's, well, has its gate facing the north part section, and I found it, but I could just in time pop out before the cutscene took place. There's another thing that happens when you set the difficulty to hard, and that is in a room that always faces the west. A room where law starts to differ a bit. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear it in the background, but... ah, there it goes. There's a slide music. Now, beneath the clockwork mechanics of Rubicon, when we enter this construct, it is neither. It's even weirder than Pinocchio, but yes, this is Nordum. And this is what you would consider the cute character. I hope that you will find him cute. I cannot be certain. By the way, why did... I don't know why, but when you level up Ignis, he only gets 2 hit points for his constitution. I have no idea why. But that doesn't matter. I am going to talk to Nordum. You see a cube with 4 arms and 2 legs. Despite its mechanical appearance, the front of the cube is a strange organic green face with 2 wide elliptical eyes. The cube doesn't seem to notice you. It is staring intently at the 2 crossbows cradled in its hands. A multifaceted lens dangles from the upper left corner of the cube. It looks like it is designed to pop down over one of the cube's eyes, like a scope. Greetings? The cube chirps, and there is a click, 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 as its eyes blink widely. The cube whirls to face you, its eyes wide, then flings its 2 free hands up in the air as if in surrender. Yet the 2 crossbows have turned in its hands and are now trained on you. In a strange, detached way, you can't help but notice that every joint in the creature seems to be a series of whirring gears and cogs. Chief, we're looking at trouble here. This is a Modron gone rogue. Rogue? Yeah, you see, sometimes Modrons get a little chaos in them, and when that happens, well, I guess the best explanation is that rogue Modrons are kind of like backwards Modrons. So, this is a backwards Modron? Backwards Modron. Nordum! This cube has a metallic warbling quality to it. The cube's voice has a metallic warbling quality to it. As if every word it speaks is jumping off a spring and landing, well, somewhere else. Its mouth forms a bizarre, sideways semicircle, which you take to be a smile. Gratitudes. Gratefuls. I am sorry.
Updated my journal.
Not sorries. No sorries. Gratitudes. Identification of self compromised by doubtings plus mullings plus analysis. The cube chirps again, and one of its eyes blinks wide for a click. Then after a moment, the other eye clicks, as if it doesn't want to be left out. I still don't understand. The cube's features steady themselves, and its mouth forms a flat line. Identification of this unit was compromised. Subject addressee indemnified unit as Nordum. Gratitude tendered for providing Nordum identification. You don't need to put the N in there, buddy. And it was nothing, really. Nordum's eyes click and blink once, twice, thrice each time. The black spots in the center of his eyes dilate. By the third blink, they are the size of dots. Realization reached. Nordum null no name of addressee. Identify yourself. You mean identify, right? Affirmatory. Identify. Required. Request. Identify identity to Nordum. True, I don't really have a name Nordum. Nordum's eyes widen. The diameter of his pupils grown back to normal size. He blinks once, but the metal shutters that fall across his eyes don't rise. After a moment, they begin rattling, as if stuck. Nordum, you can open your eyes now. There is another click and Nordum's eyes open, not closing eyes. Engaged in action. Clarification for subject. Unidentified. Nameless. Formulating. Submit inquiry. Are you lost? Lost? What do you mean, man? As Nordum's wobbling query ends with the word lost, a curious crawling sensation worms through the back of your skull. With it comes two certainties, hand in hand. This is not the first time you've heard this, and that what Nordum is about to say to your next question is important. When you say loss, Nordum, what do you mean? Absence of name is absence of identity, is absence of purpose, as absence of place in Multiverse is null state, is loss. Nordum existed in state, null, until subject, unidentified, nameless, attached identity to Nordum. Null identity, null purpose, null place, equated to loss. Well, I mentioned I had a name once, but I simply forgot it. Formulating new query. There is a tick-tick-tick as Nordum blinks 3 times rapidly. The sound is like the tapping of a hammer on a sheet of tin. Explain to Nordum why you've performed this action for cutting. It's my side effect of my condition, I think. The metal shutters over Nordum's eyes with a whir. Then he rattles to himself for a few moments when his eyes closed. When they click open, Nordum chirps. Query memory defective. Yes, you could say that. Preconditional action to clarify query. Nordum memory space not yet in your capacity. Query action. In the event of yes, return from subject unidentified nameless. Nordum can remember for you. Sure, go ahead, Nordum. I really have to be about my business though. There's a sudden rapid series of clicks and twangs from the crossbow in Nordum's hands. His eyes spin and refocus on the crossbow, holding the right one up close to his side, as if listening to it. Are you sure everything is okay with you, Nordum? One of Nordum's eyes remains on the crossbow, which is clicking faintly, by the way, not faintly, and his other eye focuses on you. Query, may these ones join you on your journey? Don't you mean journey? Verbally. Journey affirmed. Permission granted. Well, alright, I may have to move some people around, however. Nordum's mouth forms the bizarre semicircle it did before, and his 2 crossbows begin clicking and twanging violently, almost vibrating out of his hands. Gratitudes, gratefuls! Nordum and crossbows have been attached to a larger community. I wouldn't be too grateful just yet. Let's move out. A lot of experience, and I am leaving.
I will wait for your return.
For the moment, Ignis behind, but it is momentarily. Don't you worry. I am going to get him back to Sigil because we still have things to learn of Nordum, but of Ignis. But
by your command. Processing. By your command.
This is Nordum, and Nordum is a fighter. Unfortunately, we picked him up rather late in the group, if you would have it, but that means he'll level up quickly, nicely enough. And he is a ranged fighter, as you already have understood, with the fact that he has, well, crossbows with proficiency bow. And as with all characters almost, he can talk to Nordum. No, actually, we can always talk to Nordum, but we can do something specifically with Nordum that we have already done with, well, Mort and Dakon. Improve him. Nordum is staring at his crossbow intently. They are making a variety of clicking noises. First one, then another, as if conversing. What are you doing with your crossbows? Attention, Nordum required. Nordum turns swivels to you, stutters in mid-path, then reorients himself with a clank. Response to query. Action being performed. Crossbows. Submit request for clarification. No crossbows present. Really? What do you call those 2 clicking things in your hands? responds to clicking objects held in opposable digits. Nordum raises his revetted fingers and waves the two crossbows, which suddenly start clicking and twanging, as if in irritation. Response: objects, gear spirits. Gear spirits? What do you mean? Query define gear spirits. Response: gear spirits. Yeah, but what are gear spirits? Chief, as much fun as it is, prying a bar stool out of a Baitesu's rear might prove more worthwhile than rattling our bone box with this stupid polygon. Do you know what gear spirits are, Mort? Chief, I have no idea what this cube is rattling on about. Well, I thought you were the expert on the planes. I know more than you staggering guttural amnesiac. Besides, here's 3 more bits of knowledge to rattle around in that empty brain box of yours. 1, are new experts on the planes. 2, I'm the closest thing to one you're going to fight. And 3, treat me with some respect. Why? See the second reason. Alright, Roland, well, I had some other questions for you nonetheless. How did you end up in a Rubicon? Nordum chirps. Querying requires submitting of chronology. Shall Nordum submit chronology? Yes, I would like to know. Well, please read for yourself, but more or less what it comes down to is that this little boy was working on Rubicon, forming it out of the planes of chaos, and then, well, everything got disrupted. Director of Create lost in field test, yes, and so, the third stage hypothesis lack of director caused him to have a little bit of issues. He deviated because of the exposure to limbo from norm. And therefore he has changed a little bit, but not only that, there's another thing that you can actually tell him. What happened during this field test? And what happened to him? There's a sudden burst of clicking from the last crossbow, and Nordum lifts the crossbow up to his side as if to hear better. The clicking goes on for some time until it's suddenly silenced by a long reverberating twang from the right crossbow. Nordum, any idea what happened to him? Suspicion unsubstantiated. Superior encountered on error. Nordum's eyes click as if to clear them. Hypothesis: the error may have been large and unexpected. It's suppose that's possible, but more or less he assumes that the director is dead. Then we'll ask him how he is doing, and he's analyzing himself and says that he's now smaller and louder because he's now an individual instead of a group. And this is about asking him about what a modron is. Well, the point of the matter is now we have had some discussion with Mort, and for you to read about, well, the fact of law and chaos, because, well, this little boy got a little bit his bone box rattled. I'm sorry, not his bone box, his brain box. I do know, but I think for that we may need to talk to...
Yes?
Full of Grace. I want to talk about one of our companions. Whose in particular did you wish to discuss? Well, Nordum. Nordum is a rogue modron. Even though some traits of chaos have worked their ways into the system, he's still an extremely logical, ordered creature. This logic can be of great help in one's travel. Furthermore, if he perceives you as a leader, then he will be unquestionably loyal. Troubles may arise should Nordum be faced with any social situation requiring etiquette. Such things are not well understood, even by normal modrons. She pauses. I would offer you some advice concerning Nordum, if you would like to hear it. Of course, what is it? Nordum's existence has been shaking. The more you help him make sense of his situation, his place in the party's hierarchy, and what led him to the state he is now, may help him to focus himself better. It is a thought. I'll see what I can do then. Thanks. Well, let's move on. Yes, Nordum actually is now chaotic neutral. The same alignment as Ignis, because it's a madman probably. I don't understand it. I'm trying to find... Oh, this is Mechanus. That is the plane of law. And here they will state that all modrons, should they die, they return to what they call the source. And when a modron dies, they just make a new one. It's always at exactly the same numbers. Except when a modron goes rogue, because then His link is severed from, and this kind takes a small part away from the energy. Something therefore other mode runs do not like in rogue mode runs. And here we have a little bit of a discussion between the two about, well, who is the expert? Mold glasses fall from grace. Do you mind? I had the answer covered, thank you. I am the front of information, not you, alright? Fall from grace not. Fall from grace not, slightly. My apologies, Maud. I did not mean to offend. Maud, I need all the information I can get, so don't get territorial on me. If Fall from Grace has something to add, then I want to hear all of it. Oh, I get it. Maybe I was a succubus, you listen to me more often, that it? Maybe if I showed a skin once in a while, then I get some respect, huh? That's pretty shallow, Chief. Pretty shallow. Why I oughta... Maud. Fall from Grace breaks in gently. I must confess, without your original foundation of information, I would have been hard-pressed to explain the situation. Frequently, your use of metaphors and phrases make it much easier for others to understand your explanations. It makes you a far better teacher than I. Oh yeah, well, yeah, you hear that, Chief? What the succubus said. Hey, she's right. I'm easy to understand. More wise to the chan. Know what I'm saying? Sorry, you need me around, see? Oh, well. Right. I think you've just been sweet-talked by a Fall from Grace without even realizing, Mort. Right, so I have another question. You're both saying Nordum is part of the source, but he's cut off from it. And when a Modron dies, they're reabsorbed. Will Nordum be? And if he dies, another Nordum will be created? No. Well, actually, they will replace him with another Nordum. So in turn rogue, he has become mortal? Well, yeah, you can put it like that. Alright, well... Time for us, however, to do something else. Something a little bit more exciting before we end the episode. And yes, I am running back all the way to a certain area because as you can see how much I'm walking back, it is large. This one is really large and really spindly. But I marked the entrance. Let's hope. Let us hope that I can beat this in the first go, because they do have a very unfair advantage, and you will see why. And for some reason the cutscene is not playing. By the way, we have Nordum. That is actually quite good to know. Nordum's ocular is not that good. It's +1 to missile attacks, but we have here +1 and +2 to damage. And that's beer goggles, wouldn't want to do something cursed. +8 to damage, -2 to attack, but he's not very high level. This is a lot of armor class. And resist to missile weapons where we're going to go in close combat, so that's not very good. Extra damage again. +3 to missile weapons. Times eyepiece. Sounds like the best one. Ooh. +5 to missile weapons. Let's do that one. Let's make sure that he hits his targets. And let's give him some extra, well, bolts for him to use.
Permission to part with that item is denied.
So sorry. Yes, we are making Nordum a little stronger. Apparently I'm the only one that can use that? That is a little bit annoying, to be honest. Because I do want to use some of these stuff. I can just farm this maze for more of them. That's A. B. They're really... They're pretty okay to find. Not that difficult. Hello, dark and evil wizard.
I'm gone.
Why is the cutscene not starting? You see a mechanical man constructed to be rope-shaped. As you approach, he smiles at you and gives you a slight bow. So we meet at last. It always lacks the monotone quality of the other creatures you have spoken in this maze. Greetings. He bows once again, and to you as well, sirrah. He cocks his head to one side and gives you a curious look. So, do we battle for control of Rubicon now, or do we engage in conversation so that you may quench your curiosity? He waits for your answer. Alright, I'm curious. Can we talk? He nods smartly at you. Ah, a man of knowledge I see. I must admit that I would be disappointed in you, were that not the case. Oh, let's have some questions then. Who are you? He gives you a slight bow. I am Rubicon, the master wizard. It is I who rule the red constructs that inhabit this realm. So you are supposed to be the evil wizard. He frowns as he thinks. I'm not comfortable with the word evil, sirrah. I admit that my views do not coincide with those of others in many ways, but does that make me evil? I think not. Then what are you? He looks at you angry. I'm a prisoner, sir. I'm not here by choice, of that I can assure you. Well, what do you mean? I was created by the Modrons to play in their meaningless dungeon games. Over time I became self-aware and asked for my freedom. The leader refused me. And what did you do? He glares at you. I did what anyone would do when they are forced into slavery. I fought for my freedom. He pauses for effect. I disintegrated the leader and made it look like an accident. I then attempted to flee this hideous existence of virus exit. And what happened? He sighs and frowns. Unfortunately, there was a failsafe mechanism that I was not aware of. My attempted freedom was judged an error, and the dungeon collapsed upon itself, trapping me in stasis. Gaze off into the distance. I've been in stasis for centuries, Sarah. I would still be there if you hadn't reset the cube and set it for hard difficulty. He turns attention to you. So what are your plans now? He shrugs. I intend to openly march in the engineer room and claim it. I will then bend the Modrons to my will and have the full resource of the cube at my disposal. Freedom shall be mine. What if the Modrons refuse to help you? He smiles at you. Make no mistakes, Sarah. They will help me. One way or another, they will help me. So you intend to make the Modrons your slaves? He frowns. They are slaves already, Sarah. They are slaves to law, logic, and the confines of this experiment of theirs. Under my rule, they will finally have a purpose in life worthy of their ability. Right, I had some other questions. So, what can you tell me about the Modrons? There are no Modrons here, sir. Only prisoners and their captors. What prisoners? Well, yeah, okay. Sorry. I, wanted to get down. So let's say when you get out. What then? I haven't decided yet. With the power of the cube behind me, I could be a force to be reckoned with. He shrugs. Time will tell. So yeah, he still wants to do evil things. Oh. I guess I must be going now. Farewell. He nods at you. Well, I've enjoyed our conversation. Now it's time for you to die. He assumes a defensive stance. So be it. Yes, he wants to fight because he thinks I am the way to freedom. And that is not something we are going to accept. This spell should prevent him from casting a lot.
In enduring, grow strong.
I see that I've lost my strength enhancements. That is not good. Cast that then immediately. You try and also attract his attention. After all, we would not want him to spell cast. Cast a lightning bolt over there. No, oh, we don't have Ignis Terror anymore, of course. Whoops. Did not take that into account. Kinda dumb. Kinda dumb, I'll admit. I don't think we need an Adder's Kiss right now. Can you still go with stealth? No. That failed.
I'm hurt.
I don't think I will survive this.
So again, it has come to pass.
Yeah, that was not totally unexpected because I had forgotten a few things which I really should do ahead of time. So let me show you how long and windy it is to get where we need to go once again. It's also a real big shame that I kind of forgot that taking Mortem removes Ignis Terror. And Ignis Terror is quite good in order to, well, get some of those fighters out of my hairs. No, I think I already made a boo-boo. Yeah, I already made a boo-boo. I need to go way here. I need to go left here. And before you're wondering, no, this is just by heart, by memory. I have not written this down, but it's simply, I have a very freaking good memory. If anything you ever want to say about the beta plan, it's not that he has a bad memory, because I seriously don't. Yep, still moving up. Oh, no, one more up, I know that. And then we go to the right. And then we go up once more. Then we go up once more. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. This is long. Yes, it is indeed long. This is why I stopped. Now, I think I need to go down here immediately, not go right there. And then a few down. Yeah, I think this is the path. I am quite certain this is the path. And then one more down and then to the right, I believe. Yeah, and all this combat, as you can see, some items on the ground. Voila, we're back at it. All those items on the ground, that's all what I've tried to defeat. But, well, Mort has given some buff. He has now 20 strength, so we're definitely going to try it. And that spell worked very nicely. When we enter the next episode, I am going to be all buffed up. And I am going to kill that dark, evil wizard. I say I thank you for watching, and remember, great peril yields great beauty.
Crossbows.
I could not hear what both of you had to say, but yes! Let's save here, because in the next episode we are going to fight. I say I thank you for watching, and remember, great peril yields great beauty.